Hi, it's Tony from the Mind Body Project. Welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Just remember, we've got the Turn Depression into Happiness 8-week course coming up in October the 4th. That's in Nottingham. And then we've got the Turn Anxiety into Confidence course. That's a 4-week course. That's coming up in Nottingham. That's November the 6th. And then we've got the NLP New Code Games course coming up, 1-day course. And that's on October the 13th. So book below, just see the details below for that. Okay, so we're on day number 7. Right, so the question is, what is NLP New Code? I've just mentioned the courses. Okay, so NLP New Code. Right, you've got NLP Classic Code and NLP New Code. Now, John Grinder and Richard Bandler started, they co-created NLP like late 1970s. They started working on the 1970s, and what they did was they wrote some books. So they modelled Virginia Satir, Fritz Perls and Milton Erickson, so famous hypnotist. And what they did was, after that, they sort of went their own ways. In the 1980s, they sort of went their own ways. And Richard Bandler went on with John Laval, and he started making up design human engineering and neuro-hypnotic repatterning. Whilst John Grinder went his own way, and he went and started doing NLP New Code. And he realised there were some flaws with the classic code, and actually said, because what he noticed was that you had practitioners going out there who were looking, they were helping other people, and this is a problem, by the way, because it's congruency. They were helping other people, and yet their own lives, they were suffering the issues and like problems that the clients had. So they're very good at helping other people, but they weren't very good at helping themselves. And that wasn't the intention that John Grinder went out there with. So he wanted to actually design something that, so that you work on yourself, and then by doing that, then you help other people that way. So what he done is he changed it and streamlined it, so you've now got the NLP New Code. And rather than sitting there, and this is the thing, rather than sitting there and actually asking a question of a client, so a lot of the times you'll get a coach or therapist or change agent or whoever it is, a practitioner, mental health practitioner, how would you like to feel instead? If they're asking that question, then what they're doing is they're asking it in a way that causes a problem. The problem is that they're asking the exact part of you that doesn't know, your conscious mind. If you knew how you wanted to act, you would just do it, wouldn't you? So they're asking a part of you, so now you're having to guess. Now, because you're having to guess and your unconscious mind is not on board, then you're going to change, and then what will happen is you'll get a good result, yeah, you'll change, but then what will happen is you'll relapse. Yeah, how many times does that happen to people? Yeah, how many relapse is a major issue, causes a lot of money. Yeah, very, very expensive. And that's because you're asking the part of the client that doesn't know. So what NLP New Code does is it takes that responsibility away from the client. Instead of doing that, it basically says, right, I'm going to get you into high performance state, which is then going to kick in, because when you're in the zone, when you're performing at a high level amazingly well, then you have access to most of your brain, all of your brain. Yeah, this is what the NLP New Code games do. So you have access to all of your brain, which means that you have unlimited behaviours. When you're in a position like a depressed state or an anxiety state or a jealousy state or whatever, like a negative emotion, you only have limited behaviours. You have a small teeny amount of choices that you have. Yeah, sometimes you only have one. So it's just a reaction. You just react in a certain way. And so what John Grinder said was, well, if they have a high performance state, then their unconscious mind will choose multiple behaviours if needed to react in that situation instead. And that's what the New Code games are for. So what you do is you have the unconscious mind dictate or choose newer behaviours. So it's about having choice. It's about increasing the amount of choice you have in a situation. A lot of times you may go to so those with social anxiety, you go out there and you don't have a choice. You just feel awful. You feel scared. You feel frightened. You have fear. Yeah. But imagine if you had where you're performing absolutely amazingly well. When you go out there then and that state kicks in, you're going to behave completely different. You're going to be really relaxed. You're going to be fine around people. You're going to speak to people. It's not going to be an issue. But that will kick in automatically at the choice of your unconscious mind, because it knows what to do. Yeah, all the behaviour you've done in your whole life has been stored holographically in minute detail with your unconscious mind. So it knows what to do. It knows what behaviours you need. All you need to do is make sure you're in the right state in that situation, and then those behaviours will come around at the choice of your unconscious mind. And that's essentially what we're doing. Just allowing the unconscious mind to take charge, that's how you deal with it. Okay? And the NLP New Code games, which I create a lot of, is designed to actually get you into those high performance states. So they get you into those high performance states, and what we do is we then program that or focus that on a specific problem or an area where you'd like more choice, and the unconscious mind does the rest. Yes, there's a specific process that you do. Those who are NLP New Code trained will know that. But in classic code, you don't do it that way. You're still sort of asking people how they would like to behave instead, which is a flaw. Although NLP classic code is still brilliant, it's just a flaw. It makes things easier for me, the practitioner, and it makes things easier for the client if they don't have to disclose a lot of details to me. In fact, most of the time I don't know anything. But all I know is if I just get them into that state, in that problem, where the problem is, then the unconscious mind will do the rest. I don't know what the behaviours are going to be, so I can't manipulate them in any way, shape or form, and their unconscious mind is going to choose it, and their conscious mind can't get in the way as well. And it's going to do things ethically because it knows what to do. Alright, so it's magical, I think, and that is why I'll use a lot of those to deal with situations.